Libya has undergone several changes and reforms for so many years now. Bound by the Mediterranean Sea, Tunisia, Algeria, Niger, Sudan, Chad, and Egypt. Libya is the fourth largest country in Africa and the 16th largest in the world by land. From prehistoric rock art to present oil extraction activities, there are many interesting facts that you will want to know about this North African country. Over 90% of Libya is desert, notably the Sahara, which is the largest and hottest desert in the world. Moreover, oil reserves in Libya are the largest in Africa and the 9th biggest in the world. This is not our main focus on this video, but we thought it wise to let you have an overview of this country, so as to better understand what we shall be unveiling to you in a moment. Today, we shall be talking about the achievements of Libya's former leader, Muammar Gaddafi. Gaddafi ruled Libya as a revolutionary chairman of the Libyan Arab Republic from 1969 till 1977, and as the brotherly leader of the great socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya from 1977 till 2011 when he was assassinated. As a highly tactical and divisive figure, Muammar Gaddafi dominated Libya's politics for over 4 decades and developed the country significantly in many different ways. Gaddafi was condemned by many as a dictator, whose authoritarian administration significantly violated human rights and financed global terrorism in Libya and abroad. Despite the infamous notoriety surrounding his name, Gaddafi made great contributions to Libya's development, and he is mourned by many across sub-Saharan Africa. During his reign, Libya was one of the fastest-growing economies of Africa, and was often referred to as the Middle East of Africa. It is difficult to talk about Gaddafi's achievements in Libya just in one aspect. He actually did a lot for his people before his death in 2011, and we have gathered several of his achievements in all sectors of the economy in today's video. Just watch this video carefully and find out for yourself the most striking deeds of this renowned Libyan leader. Before we do that, please hit the like button if you are already finding this video interesting, and also subscribe to the New Tourist channel. In 1951, Libya gained independence from Italy and was looking forward to development, and depended a lot on foreign aid from other Western and European nations like Britain and the US. But then, in 1956, everything suddenly changed in Libya, with the very first discovery of oil in the country. This was a great civilizational potential that was hidden in the country for centuries. The population of Libya began to skyrocket, and problems related to development started increasing as well. Have you ever heard about the golden dinar, a dream currency for Africa that was envisaged by Muammar Gaddafi? It was going to be his greatest achievement in Libya, Africa, and the world at large. However, the project was crushed by Western powers and was not realized at the end. Between the 1950s and 60s, Libya was among the poorest countries in the world, but when Gaddafi came to power in 1969, he made Libya the richest African country, with over $150 billion in its foreign reserves, with no budget deficit. Libya had the strongest and most valuable currency in Africa. The Libyan dinar was also one of the strongest currencies in the world. Gaddafi proposed the idea behind the Libyan strong currency to the AU and wanted African countries to work to create an African currency, backed by gold, in order to strengthen the continent's economy and alleviate poverty and deterioration. During Gaddafi's reign, all education to university level was paid by the government. People who were not able to access their desired courses in Libya were funded to pursue them abroad by the government. This helped increase the literacy rate in Libya from 25% to about 90%. Public education in the country became free and primary education compulsory for both sexes. No system is perfect, but most are imperfect and expensive. Gaddafi made sure his system was subsidized, and even Mercy Corps attested to the fact. According to the UN Development Program, in 2010, Libya occupied the 5th position in the Arab world for human development, especially in terms of intellectual growth. Additionally, electricity in Libya was free for everyone. Gaddafi also started a great irrigation system in the world that was meant to make water available to every home in Libya. The Great Man-Made River Project that was initiated in Libya at the time of Muammar Gaddafi is a memorable one in the country. The foundation stone for this project was laid in Sarir on August 28, 1984. This project utilizes a pipeline system that pumps water from the Nubian sandstone aquifer system down from South Libya to the cities in the north, including Tripoli and Benghazi. The water covers a distance of up to 1,600 kilometers and provides 70% of all fresh water used in Libya. It is important to note that Libya, being a desert county, has always faced long-standing water shortages. The water project funded by Gaddafi himself was nicknamed the Eighth Wonder of the World. If any Libyan citizens had interest in starting a farming business, the government could assist them with seeds, land, and even livestock at no cost. Another aspect that was very peculiar during Gaddafi's rule in Libya was that shelter was considered a natural human right for every Libyan citizen. Homes in Libya were owned by individuals and families, and were not supposed to be rented according to laws put in place. It was part of Gaddafi's aim to combat homelessness in the country. The Green Book that was first published in 1975 was Gaddafi's Bible of political philosophy. He vowed that he would not secure a house for his own parents until every citizen had one. There are many other things Gaddafi achieved in Libya at the time he was president that we might not fully exhaust in this video. But you should take note that amongst these great achievements, Gaddafi ensured bursary to mothers who gave birth to newborn babies. Each of them received $5,000 for their upkeep. Petrol prices in Libya were the lowest in the world at that time. A liter of the fluid costed just about $0.14. In adherence to the Sharia law in Islam, there were no interests charged on loans, and prices of basic commodities in Libya were extremely low to ensure that no one lacked anything or went to bed hungry. When anyone wanted to buy a car, the government subsidized its price up to 50%. Great, isn't it? Graduates received an unemployment fee from the government for use until they could find a job. We would like to reiterate again that since Gaddafi took to power till now, oil has been the main resource in the hands of the Libyan Arab nation. The triumph of the 1969 revolution marked a paradigm shift, moving the new government to use its oil income to boost redistributive measures among the population, generating a new model of economic and social development for the country. Some analysts have reported that amongst the numerous strategies for economic sovereignty which drove Gaddafi's policies were the nationalization of various Western oil companies such as British Petroleum and the creation of the National Oil Corporation, which characterized the configuration of a more socialist model. Within the Libyan state, Gaddafi dealt with two central dilemmas, which were fully a characteristic of the country. The first was the difficulty to exercise control over all the tribes of Libya, and secondly, the fragmentation of the country into diverse, opposite tribal and regional groups. Gaddafi had the ability to hold together these tribes, with little connection to each other. It is estimated that there are about 140 tribes in Libya, with different traditions and origins. Internationally, Gaddafi worked to strengthen ties with neighboring countries such as Egypt, Morocco, Syria, Tunisia, Chad, and many others, as well as maintaining close bonds with France and Russia. Pan-Arabism cannot be excluded from the list of Gaddafi's achievements in Libya and the world. He confronted Western nations such as the US and reached closer ties with other Arab countries to carry out common practices of rejecting Washington's policies on the Middle East and Africa, though with limited power. Gaddafi also connected Libya to Latin American countries such as Venezuela and Cuba, which made him accumulate an extensive network of contacts. This, however, created an uncomfortable influence for Europe and the United States. By the time of Gaddafi's assassination, Libya had the highest GDP per capita and life expectancy in Africa. Fewer people lived below the poverty line than in the Netherlands. Many of Gaddafi's supporters continued to laud his administration for the creation of an almost classless society through domestic freedom. A regime that combated homelessness, ensuring access to food and safe drinking water, and a dramatic improvement in education. They also applaud his moves in medical care, praising the universal free health assistance provided under Gaddafi's administration, with diseases like cholera and typhoid being contained and life expectancy raised. The name of Libya was changed several times during Gaddafi's tenure as leader. From 1969 to 1977, the name was the Libyan Arab Republic. In 1977, the name was changed to the Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya, and in 1986, it was changed to the Great Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya after the US bombing that year. The name Jamahiriya was given by Gaddafi himself, meaning the state of masses. Throughout his long rule of over 42 years, Gaddafi defended his position against oppositions and coup attempts that emerged from both the military and the general population. He reacted to these threats on one hand by maintaining a careful balance of power between the forces in the country and by brutal suppression on the other. Libya under Gaddafi was not entirely hellish, as the world has been made to believe. Throughout Gaddafi's tenure in Libya, ambitious social programs were launched in areas of education, health, housing, public works, amongst others, as you have just watched in this video. These policies led to a substantial improvement in the living conditions of Libyans, from being one of the poorest countries in Africa in 1969 to being the continent's leader in Human Development Index in 2011. After watching this video, what comparisons can you make for Libya at the time of Muammar Gaddafi and present-day Libya under Mohammed Yunus al-Menfi?